Hey, welcome back into the channel, Rockstars. Thanks for joining me. I wanted to follow up on yesterday's video since so many people had so many great responses, comments, emails, and messages that I got. Thank you for everyone who took time, positive, negative, and everything in between to leave those responses. If you missed yesterday's video, it is all about an idea that I had and being a reseller and a YouTuber on the road, traveling the country in a large motorhome RV, not like a little small van life, but in an actual legitimate like rolling house on wheels. And I wasn't so much making a video to ask about financial advice. Finances are something I don't really discuss, even though this is business related and reselling is money and business related, but I wanted more of like a logistical outlook. So let me tell you about the responses that I get, and let me respond to the questions, comments, concerns that I received. And also I'll just give you a little recap. If you want to watch the video, I'll link it below. Go check that out and then come back. But the recap is I considered actually selling this house, pocketing a ton of equity and buying an RV and going on the road for a couple of years and then possibly coming back, seeing what the outlook is in a couple of years, be it the house prices or interest or my financial situation or whatever it might be. So let me give you guys the quick rundown summary details and then my responses to what everybody gave me. So number one, I don't need the money. I can continue just living here, paying the bills, and just living life as it is and see where it goes, right? And I've done that for the last 15, 20 years. So that's number one. The reason that I considered it is because there is a ton of equity in this house. And when I say a ton, we're talking like $350,000 to $400,000. Not to mention, I considered selling the car because if I'm on the road, we don't need two cars. We barely need two cars right now. And my car has about 10 to 15 grand in equity in it. And it costs $2,000 a month. My car is $1,650 and the car insurance is above $300. So that would remove a $2,000 a month bill. That would give me total with the house and with this after agents fees and all, somewhere in the low $300,000 to $350,000 cash infusion on top of the money that I have. And if all the house bills were gone, this house cost between $3,500 and $3,600 a month for the mortgage and the electric and the water and the HOA and the lagoon and all of that. So my bills would go down by $5,500 a month. Plus, I have some business bills that I would like to pay off. It's not really debt. I wouldn't call it that. It's just some things that receivables versus outgoing. So I would be able to just pay all that off. It's not too terribly much. I mean, I don't know, $30,000, $40,000. Could pay it off now. Choose not to because I keep that cash in my pocket. Use it to leverage business. But if I decided that I was going to sell the house, I might as well just pay those off. And that bill on those $30,000, $40,000 is probably like another $1,500 a month, give or take. So now we're up to $7,000 a month in cash flow. That's money that I don't have to spend every month if the house, the cars, and those bills were gone. Plus, I'd have all that cash infusion. So that was why the idea was tempting. A lot of people said, why would you ever sell your house? I have a 2.875 interest rate. I bought this house at an amazing time. A similar house to this you just heard would cost $350,000 to $400,000 additional. Why would I ever sell it? Well, that's the temptation. That is why I considered it, because that's a huge, huge number to have. I could invest that money. I could run business more, different businesses rather, including a travel vlog channel that I've always wanted to do. I've mentioned that in previous videos of what I would do if I was not a reseller. And it's just a very tempting thought process. So that's all the positives of doing it, right? Getting to see the country, getting to tour, getting to have some freedom, having a ton of cash in the bank, having more investments, having, less bills, less outlay. If I cut my bills by $7,000, I would have just the basics. I'd have my SUV, my RV, and all of that. And so, even with the RV and all the other payments, I probably would still have $5,000 free cash flow plus all the cash. Now, the negatives. What did all of you fine folks say were the negatives? Well, an RV comes with gas, fuel, parking, the payment, all that's thought out with what I'm getting rid of and all those bills. Yes, I got to pay for the RV, I got to pay for the fuel and the parking, but I'm still going to be positive cash flow. So yeah, I did take all that into account. Two, the maintenance on an RV. I intend on buying one that's only about 2 to 3 years old with a warranty, and I'll buy an extended warranty. And again, I'll have all of that money in cash flow. If something does happen that's not covered, I'll easily be able to pay for it. The second one was people saying the RV is worth half of what it's valued at when you drive it off the lot. Fair value. I'm not going to buy a brand new one that's $200,000 and then you drive it off the lot and it's $125,000. I'm going to buy one that's used for $125,000, $150,000, and then yeah, it's going to drop in value. But I did the same thing with my car. So my car is $180,000. I bought it used with just a little bit of miles on it for $110,000, I think I paid for it, or $115,000. And I've had it now for 3 years and it's worth right around $85,000. So yeah, it's dropped, but it's still worth a significant amount, and I got a huge deal, almost half price, not quite half, but almost half. I would do the same thing with an RV where the depreciation's not such a big hit, and I'm not really worried about it. So that was that. People also saying, you know, diesel versus regular. Yeah, diesel versus regular. Diesel generally has less maintenance, I believe is the correct thing, and that gas can have more problems. Of course, diesel fuel is very pricey, so that's something to think about. I thought through all of these things. Traveling with the inventory for eBay. I have a fulfillment center. Why would I not just send my inventory to eBay or to my fulfillment center? Yes, I would do that. But when I get new inventory on the road, I would love to stop and go thrifting. I would love to hit up estate sales and swap meets I've never been to across the country. And as I got new inventory shipped into me, then I would have to constantly funnel it to my fulfillment center, which is realistic. I suppose I could do that. I also didn't want to mix my inventory with my client's inventory in the fulfillment center. And don't forget, even though the fulfillment center is technically mine, a part of it, I would still have to pay those fees to pay the workers and the cost to get it all there, shipping it all across the country, wherever it was I, you know, had been at that time. So something that I was keeping in mind, and I love running the eBay business, but if all I had to do was buy it and put it in boxes and ship it to the fulfillment center, yeah, it's probably better than keeping it with me while I'm traveling. So great point. A lot of you pointed that out. Thank you for that. Work. How much time in a day when I'm traveling and sightseeing could I actually work? People stated that my work level, my workflow, and my amount of hours that I would get in every week compared to what I do now would probably drastically go down. And they're probably right. That's a fair point. So currently Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays, and Fridays, I work from like 9 to 6. I put in 9 to 10 hours all 5 days. So you're talking about 50 hours a week, 45 to 50 hours a week during the regular schedule. Generally, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I work at night from like 10 to midnight while I'm getting in bed. I put in another 8 to 10 hours. I don't do it on Thursday because generally we go somewhere on Thursdays. We have a trivia night here. We go out with friends. Thursday night's kind of our hangout night. We don't get home sometimes till 10, 11, sometimes 12. Usually tired, usually worn out. Thursday nights I go to bed pretty early. Friday depends. If we're home, I will work on the computer. If I'm not, and I'm out, then generally I won't. But that's a couple hours additional if I'm home on Fridays. Saturday and Sundays, I try to only work about 4 hours, but that's another 8 hours. So we're up to at least 60 hours a week that I work currently. On YouTube, it's probably about 2 hours a day between filming these videos, editing them, posting them, responding to your comments and emails, and then also promoting them out on social media, TikTok, Instagram, whatever it is. So that's about 10 hours to 12 hours a week. I do it 6 hours or 6 days a week, sometimes 7. So at least 12 hours a week, maybe even 14 on the road. Could I still do it? Yes, I could sit down and film. How many hours a day? If we're driving 5 or 6 hours on a Monday, we get up, take the RV, drive 5, 6 hours to a new city, park, get it all set up. I'm not going to get a lot of work done on Monday. Then I could work Tuesday, Wednesday, but we want to go out to the towns and enjoy them. So how many hours am I actually going to be able to work? 30 or 40 for the week, 25, 30, drastically less indeed. But if I have the eBay business set away, it could be drastically less work that I need to put in. I could cut 2 hours a day out of the business. So that is something, balancing work and travel and sightseeing, that I would definitely have to plan. The internet for uploading YouTube videos. Currently, I have a ridiculous internet speed. I can upload videos very, very quickly on the road. It's not going to work that way. I would probably need to pre-plan videos and upload them overnight while I slept so that I woke up and they were ready to go. Maybe my videos would go live in the mornings from now on. I would record them at night and upload them in the morning and have a bank of videos ready to go. That is an interesting thought process that I didn't really think about. I thought maybe like hotspots and MiFis and Wi-Fis and jetpacks would do the trick. I don't know about the internet on that. We'll have to see. The final answer to people's, well, not the final one, but one of the bigger ones was being on top of each other with me and Kate in an RV versus in this house where we're 3,300 square feet. She can go downstairs, I can go upstairs, office, bonus room, downstairs, this, that, outside, whatever. True. We have been on top of each other many times in the old house. It was only 1,700 and change. But being stuck in an RV all day, yeah, that could really be pressing on a couple of people, especially a couple. Something we would have to test out. A lot of you said take it on a road trip for a couple of weeks, see how it goes. Maybe something that we do. I did have a short-term goal for this. I wanted to go into the holiday season with a plan and then start the new year by doing this if we do it. I don't know. A lot of people said I should rent my house and then we could go on the road. Rent here in an HOA is 6 to 12 months minimum. And while that would be great, somebody could pay my bill and I'd free up those bills. I could get rid of the I-8, trade the I-8 in for the RV payments and then go on the road and keep the house, keep the equity, keep all of that. I would not be getting that $300,000 plus infusion, which would be fantastic. The money I have now is good, but that's just the so tempting part of this if I'm going to travel the country is to keep that cash and just change life, right? Like I don't want to do it halfway. I want to do it all the way, but keeping the house and renting it for 6 to 12 months to people is definitely an option. That's something I'm considering now, but then you still got to move all of our stuff to storage and move out of the house and give it to someone else. And then we're still living in this RV, keeping the house that we could eventually come back to. So do I want to live in a house after someone else rented it? We built this house, so we're the only people that have been in it. That's a good question. Something I have to think about. Talk to Kate about it. But it's a great suggestion from a lot of you. You had a lot of good ideas. So I do want to thank everyone who infused their ideas, the comments, the emails, the messages. It was all great. As far as having a dog, it seems there's a lot of great solutions for having a dog. As far as anything else, kids, a lot of people have done it with kids. We don't have any, but in the event that something happened and we suddenly were going to have a child, that's at least 9 months down the road, assuming, even if that happened in 6 months or 9 months or 12 months, we're talking about a year and a half. Could we come back? When a child is a baby, they don't go to school. You have a few years, at least 4 years, 5 years till a child enters into school age. So you could still travel for the first couple of years, not having to worry about bouncing around schools. So that's something that, we thought about as well. All great ideas, great tips, great things that you guys put out there. So I appreciate everyone who took the time to leave the comment messages. And, hopefully, even if we don't go all in on this adventure, we'll do something to add to life. Like this idea came to my mind for the simple fact of I have been doing the same thing for the last 15, 20 years, 7, 8 years in the last house, 3.5 here, 12 years, me and Kate in these two houses. And we just kind of wake up and work and we go hang out with friends. We do stuff. We go on trips. We go to Vegas. We go to Nashville. We go to these different things, but it's never feels like it's, it's an escape for that 5 days, 7 days, but it's not an escape for like, we're here on this rat race and we're just, what are we doing, right? We're just building and building and building and we're not actually doing anything outside of here. And so living in a lagoon, living the life that I live, a lot of people from the outside look at it and say, this is amazing. It's awesome. And it is. I'm so thankful for the life that we have, but there's more out there, right? And this is why I thought this through. There's so much more out there, and a lot of the negative responses, not negative, but the negative side of, the pros and cons. The con side that I got was money, maintenance, and not wanting to be together all the time. We want to be together all the time, I promise you. And we know how to get away from each other. We know how to do our own thing. But the money side of it, with the kind of infusion that I would get and the bill cutoffs and all that stuff, would be easy to handle anything that happens. If the RV is getting worked on and we need to stay in a hotel for a week, so be it. Like, that is what it is. We can come home. We can park the RV at an RV park, lock it up, and take a flight and a plane back here to Florida and stay with family or stay in a hotel and hang out anytime we want. And the part I didn't mention in the last video is we could do that as well. Bring the RV back here to Florida, put it in my parents' house, or put it in my buddy Drive Time with Dave's house. He's got a huge house on his property. We could park it anywhere for, a week or 10 days. And we could hop a plane and go to Europe and go explore Italy and go stay in hotels and just explore not just this country, but this world, because we wouldn't be tied down to a house and a routine that we're in. So that's just my thoughts, thinking out loud. I appreciate all of you guys. I can't wait to share the adventure, whatever we end up doing, whether it's on this channel or we start a new channel, or I don't know. We'll have to wait and see. But we just want to get out there and do more before we are too old. We're still in our 30s, both of us. And we don't want to be in our 50s or 60s. Not to say you guys are old, but we don't want to be in our 50s or 60s regretting what we didn't do while we could do it now in our 30s and going into being 40. So that's the adventure. That's the possibilities. We'll talk about it more in the future. I'll get back to eBay and reselling videos starting this weekend. It's Labor Day, so please run your sales. Get everything up and running if you don't already have them up and running. If you need help with your eBay store, please don't hesitate to ask. It's rockstarflipper@gmail.com. You can email me. I do 1 week, 2 week, and 4 week audits and reviews of people's stores and closets and different things to get them up and running and making the most sales. This would be a great time to start. It is the Labor Day weekend, and I'll be working all weekend long, Saturday and Sunday. So hit me up, rockstarflipper@gmail.com. Thanks as always for watching my videos. If you missed the first one, go check it out. It's linked below. You can see the whole story about my idea for buying an RV and selling this house. And until next time, enjoy your afternoon, enjoy your weekend, be safe, everyone, and I'll talk to you later.